Hey guys, Poor White Trash here with your weekly fashion update. Yeah, not really. As you can see, guys, I am dressed to the nines today. Came in the shop, going to try to get this transmission linkage and steering column linkage and stuff hooked up to where I can shift the transmission from inside the truck. Hopefully, I can get this done today and then focus on getting the drive line hooked up and cut down. I'm gonna have to get it measured first, I guess, and take it to the shop and have it cut down. But I'll show you what I've got here on the table, guys. What I'm using to do this. I believe the cable kit is about $200 to do this, and I'm trying to save money with any of this stuff, guys. So what I've got is the factory GM stuff, and I got it at a junkyard for maybe 15 bucks. But I'll show you what I got, what I'm hoping to do this with, and let you take a look at it, and then I'll get started with it. So what I've got is the factory GM unit that comes off the side of the frame, the main rod that goes from the steering column down to the transmission, and I've got the little bracket here that actually bolts to the side of the transmission that clicks it, in different gears, and this little spring. The spring will go on this thing here, guys, on the side of the frame. And this other end here, this is going to go inside of this, and that's what's going to shift your gears. Okay, a lot of you guys that are doing this are pretty familiar with this stuff already, but for the guys that's not done it before, just kind of showing you what I'm starting with here. So with that, guys, I'm gonna cut this video and then move on to the part where I'm not talking and I'm getting stuff done. So follow along and let me know what you think. Have a good one. Alright, guys, so one of my fears, it looks like it's been confirmed with the install of the headers. This C bracket here that I took off of the older style transmission, when you turn it around, on one side it's fine, but it looks like it's going to hit the exhaust when you bring it around the other way. I mean, it's super close. I might could get a fingernail in between that and the actual exhaust, but it looks like it's all the way around that way, and this way I'm not sure. I don't know, guys. It might work. It's going to be close. It's going to be super close if it does work, but let me try to get the rest of it installed, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, guys, I've got this factory bracket over here. I unbolted it and I slid it forward, and I tried to hook my linkage into it to come over to my bracket on the side of the transmission. Well, it turns out with the motor mounts that I have, guys, I didn't have to move this bracket. So I've put it back in the original spot, and I'm going to show you what I've got here. I've not got a whole lot of clearance right here for this transmission bracket on the side, but I'll show you what I've come up with, guys. I didn't even have to move this, but I guess it's kind of a fortunate thing that I'm able to move it back, and I think I've still got just enough clearance that I'll be able to use this factory linkage. So let me try to get around this camera stand and stuff and get this put on here, and I'll show you what I've got. This is that piece that I showed you a while ago. Put that in that hole there on the side. Just try to reach over the top. Put that in there and mash it against that frame enough to slide this in the side. Alright, what I'll do now, guys, is I'll put a cotter pin on this side, and then I'll take that shaft from the steering column and pull it down here. Of course, I'll have to adjust this nut, but just to kind of show you right quick, guys, this is so far it's looking like this is going to work great. I think that's my last gear, and that sits this this bar here right on top of this exhaust. I'll have to check and make sure that that is my final gear once I get everything hooked up. Alright, guys, I'm gonna roll out from under here and go through the gears. I think it's in 1 now, the lowest drive gear. So I'm going to try to work them up from here. I've done some adjustment and stuff with that bar, and I'm going to see how well it works. So we got 1, 2, drive, overdrive, neutral, reverse, and park. I'm not able to see it and operate it at the same time, so I'll come back along and look at the video, try to come back down with it. It's in park now. That'll be reverse. I think that's neutral. I didn't actually hear it click. Overdrive, drive, 2. Okay, there was the extra click there. We're going to go through that one more time. Pull it all the way back up. That's park. That'll be reverse, neutral, overdrive, drive, 2, and 1, all the way. Barely able to get that with that bar on the other side. That bar on the back side is hitting the top of this pipe, but I won't really be in first gear very often. We're in first, that'll be second, drive, and overdrive. Right there, guys, is where my daily driving everything is going to be. There may be a time where I have to put it in first gear if I'm pulling something or whatever. Don't plan on getting out in the mud or anything like that to where I have to lock in four-wheel drive and do anything like that, but should I have to, it'll put this bar right on top of my exhaust. There's no way around it. I've moved the transmission up just a little bit, thinking that, well, maybe that would help. Well, guess what? Duh. The headers are bolted to the motor, the transmission's bolted to the motor, so you move one, the other goes with it. But by raising the transmission, though, I did manage to get a little bit better line right across here. So probably that transmission, I'm going to move it over this way just a little bit to line it up with the rear end, and that'll give me a little bit more spring right here. You see that spring is nearly mashed completely closed, and there's all this rod sticking out here, kind of almost up against the frame, but I haven't moved any of that yet. Haven't got my drive line ready to put in, but I do have the slots on the holes on the transmission cross member for that reason, so that I can move it over, and that's what I'll wind up doing, guys. But all in all, that's it from underneath. I'll pull the camera out and show you the top. Oh, you see that rod just comes up here and goes on there. There's a washer and a cotter pin on the back. You can see where it goes down to the bolt that screws in there to hold it in place. It's up on the linkage, goes in the side of the frame, and the other side goes over to that C bracket on the transmission. So there it is, guys. There's the transmission linkage done. I guess what I'm going to do next is get my drive line stuck up there, try to get some measurements on it. So with that, guys, I'm going to cut the video. If you like what you see, subscribe, like, and share, and follow along in progress. Y'all have a good one.